gonna be making crepes. Blah. What's up guys, this is Smarty Likes It Spicy and this is my very first video on this channel. So I'm Smarty, I'll be your cook and your host, and what I'll be showing you is how I do my home cooks, how I do my recipes, and you know, mostly Haitian stuff, but also all the other things that I have in mind, because this big head has a lot of recipes going on. So I will not be you know, doing a whole introduction about my whole life. I'll just be showing you exactly what you need to know about basic cooking. So if you have any questions, you can DM me on Instagram, Smarty Likes It Spicy. And if you have any recommendation or what you'd like me to cook, you can also send it to me on Instagram. I'll be happy to make it for you. I'll put all the recipes on the bottom, you know, like on the link, if that makes sense. And so you don't have to go through a video all over again. So today I'll be cooking pancakes and salted crepes, because someone asked me on Instagram if I could make it for her, but I wasn't sure if she was talking about the sweet or the salted one, because I think in French they both called crepes. So crepe. So I decided to make both of them because I had time for it. So I cannot wait for you guys to see what it's all about. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to text me. So first you'll need to prepare utensils, and you will need a bowl, a non-stick pan, and 3 measuring cups, and a whisk so you can do the mix. So I'm going to add 1 cup of all-purpose flour, and I'll use the magic baking powder basically for the texture of the pancake, and I'll use 1 tablespoon of that, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, but that's totally optional, that's my special touch, and 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, and 2 pinches of salt. And now you can start mixing the dry ingredients so it's all together when you add the wet ingredients. Now crack 1 egg and watch for the eggshell, because that's really important. I'll use a 3.25% of milk, and I'll put 1 cup of that. And now let's mix all the ingredients. And I also forgot to add the vanilla, but you will need 1 teaspoon of vanilla, but I forgot to put that on camera, and then mix it all. And that's the texture you'd like to have at the end. Nice. So now to cook my pancakes, I'll heat up the pan and spray it with the cooking spray, or you can use butter if you don't have the cooking spray. I'll let that heat really nice, and I'll start putting my batter. So you just need to put like 1 scoop of the batter, and make sure you spread it all over so it's not too thick and it doesn't take too long to cook. And the way I did mine, it took me about 2 minutes to cook each side like very well. So I'll flip mine in about 1.5 minutes, but something you gotta know about the first pancake, it never goes dry, because it always goes south, so don't get too much hope on that one. For the amount of batter that I did, it gave me 4 pancakes. So if you want to make for the whole family, you can double the recipe. I'll do the rest of my pancakes off camera, and we'll get into the milk liquid that I'll be mixing with my pancake when I eat it. Let's get right into it. To ease up my condensed milk, I'll use 1 teaspoon, 1/3 of a measuring cup, and a bowl to mix. I'll use 1/3 a cup of the condensed milk, 1/3 of a cup of 3.25% milk, 1 teaspoon of nutmeg, and a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Mix it all together. I'll finish the mix up off camera because the nutmeg is so hard to deal with, honestly. So here's the finishing product. I put some butter on the top because I feel like that's the right thing to do, and some maple syrup, and you also have the condensed milk. So if you have a sweet tooth, you're gonna need that. Me, I have a sweet tooth and I absolutely love it with this. So now that we're done with the pancakes, we'll get right into the salted crepes. For the filling of the crepes, you will need red peppers, yellow peppers, red onions, ham, and mozzarella cheese. So I'll cut the 3 vegetables in juliets and I'll cut the ham in big dice. So you will notice when I cut my pepper, I put the interior part of the pepper facing me because it's way easier to cut it that way. You just get right into it. Cut it and let me know. So an easier thing to do is to get the pre-cut ham. But I asked my boyfriend to do the groceries for me, so it just took the first ham that I saw. So I had to go through all this, but it's totally fine if you just get the pre-cut ham. Another thing that I love to do for the filling is to roast my vegetables and the ham before I put them in. But since I didn't want the video to be too long, I just went like this. But it tastes so much better when you grill the vegetables first. So if you guys want to try this, it's totally up to you. If not, it's totally fine with this too. It tastes really good like that. But I find it just a little bit better when you just grill the vegetables first. To make the batter, it's very simple. So you basically just need a bowl and a whisk. You add 250 milliliters of milk, or equivalent to 1 cup of milk. Crack an egg and mix those 2 ingredients very well. And now you will add 1 teaspoon of salt and mix it again very well. Now one thing that I did not do on video was to melt my butter. So basically you need to put your butter in a container and melt 25 grams of that. You can measure it after you melt it, it's totally up to you. Or on a pot you can just melt it and just verse it right into the milk and mix it again. The last step will be to add the flour. So you need to add the flour gradually as you're whisking, which is why I could not take it on video because I had to do both and the camera was just not filming that. So you need to add it gradually, and that's the result you should get after. So as I said, I used 1 cup of flour and it gave me that texture. So if you want to add more to make it a little bit thicker, as you please go ahead. Now to get it cooking, you need to heat up your pan. Now if you have a non-stick pan, you don't actually need to put butter on it, but if you don't, you need to put butter because it's gonna get stick to it and you won't be able to flip it like at all. So put the butter. Me, I'm just gonna do it just so you guys can see the example, but mine is a non-stick pan. So you put the batter and you tilt it everywhere just so the texture can be really thin, because you don't need a thick texture for this kind of crepe. So once you start seeing the tiny little bubbles being formed on top, you can start putting your ingredients. So I'm gonna put my mozzarella cheese, my peppers, my onions, and the ham. I'll let it cook for another few seconds and then I'll try to close it. But the thing is, I have a circle pan and I'm trying to close it in a square, and that's gonna be a hard thing to do. I'm only gonna get one right, but it's gonna be cooked. Once you turn over the crepe, just make sure you leave it for at least 2 minutes more on the heat to make sure the other side of the batter was totally cooked. Now I'm gonna take off my first so-called crepe and I'm gonna repeat that 3 more times. And there is the final product. Thank you for watching Smarty Like It Spicy and see you next time.